わらず下手くそね。
すみません。ホーク、こいつをつつき回してくれ。お嬢様、なんでジャムなんか必要なんです？
美味しいクッキーを焼く練習。
だからなんで？
だって来年の春、ミハイお兄様が帰ってくるんですもの。
はい？
My friends, we have Hell Mode episode number 7, and what I always thought about the show definitely is coming true. Now, I don't want to oversell it by any way, shape, or form, but one of the things I've been saying is once we get a little bit of a time skip, once we get Alan out of the village and we get him a little bit older and in a town and actually beginning to, kind of really get his summon ability up, the show will become more interesting. And I definitely think that did happen. This episode, he finally got an understanding of what his role is in the house, right? He's like a wash boy or whatever, but he's now part of the family, right? So he's part of the 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐸 family now. And he's considered like, housemaid, butler, like he's in their family line now, which I think is really cool. And he is handmaid, servant boy to 𝐒𝐻𝐴, which is the daughter of the Baron or the Lord of the Land or whatever it is. And he's basically like, like her servant essentially. And by the end of the episode, he's been there 2 months, two and a half months, something like that. And he's been doing a really good kick-ass job. And we find out that he has days off. So not only did he get exposed to the wider world, he got exposed to a bigger town with more resources, with an adventure guild and missions and stuff. We find out that he has to be 12 to join the adventure guild. So he's about 4 years off because he's 8 years old. But he was able to get out of town through the 𝐒𝐻𝐽𝐸's, they gave him like a pass or something. But that got him to go in and out of the town freely. And on his days off, he's been able to utilize his days off to go and get a ton of experience and fight goblins and rabbits and this and that and that. And his summons are going up. His experience is going up. He's able to fight better. By the mid-episode, he was able to take on a couple of D-rank goblins himself without needing his summons because he's able to kind of utilize their powers and stuff. And at the beginning of the episode, he met an adventurer and he weaseled him to give him some info. And by towards the end of the episode, he was able to save that adventurer as well, along with his party. And he was able to gain stones and mana stones off of that to feed his summons, which I think is really cool. And because he saved them, he was able to create a relationship with somebody in the adventure guild who will give him more info on how he can sustain himself even more. So he's just winning and winning and winning and winning, in my book at least. And then he was able to establish a relationship with the lord that he works for, with the Baron or whatever that he works for. Because he represents their house, he was able to strike a deal with them that, okay, any hunts that you do, they'll buy the meat from him. So he's also not only able to do his job, he's able to increase his income that can go back into what he's trying to do and increase. So it's all working out in like a very systematic way. And it's pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty cool. And by the end of the episode, he got to realize that his summons aren't just entities. They're more like Pokemon, essentially, to where like they have feelings and they have likes and dislikes, and they're kind of able to act on their own, essentially. And one of the hawks that he summoned realized that like, oh, they led him to go save that party that I mentioned. And he was able to realize like, oh, they have their own decisions that they can make and stuff. So very interesting stuff and very entertaining. And then the end of the episode shows him just growing closer to 𝐒𝐻𝐴. Although he finds her annoying, and rightfully so, she very much is. You can tell that they're growing closer to each other as she begins to trust him more. That relationship will grow more. So that will probably be, outside of Pink Hair Girl, that will probably be his first, potentially, they may not even explore this whatsoever, but that could potentially be his first like romantic relationship. Maybe. I don't know. So yeah, I thought this episode was... This show is really hard. I don't think it's much better than like a 6.5 out of 10. I think this was a better episode than 6. And I gave episode 6 a 6 out of 10. I think it's closer to a 7, but I still think... I really just do whole numbers. I don't do like 6.5, 6.8. If I did, it'd probably be like a 6, 7... you know, 6.5 or something, but I'll just say it was a 6 out of 10 as well. But better half of that, right? Like, pretty good. So I enjoyed it quite a bit. So that's really the main thing here is, did I enjoy it? I did. And I hope you did too. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below if you're sticking with this one. And this is my only show I watch on Fridays. So that's all I got. All right. Peace out.